Yo, what's up fam? So I just wrote the most perfect, most emotional, most everything chapter. This is what if Naruto was born early and fell in love with Kushina and Mikoto part 10. The like goal is 6 likes, but if we get more that would be fire. But I want you guys to listen to this what if cause it is chef's kiss. The sun had only just started to rise, but Naruto had already been awake for hours. He wasn't at his house in the nearly completed Uzumaki compound. Instead, he was deep in the forest, in a familiar clearing where the air still held the scent of dew-soaked earth and crushed leaves. This was the same place Kushina had found him nearly 2 weeks ago, pushing his body past its limits. Now he was doing it again. His hands were wrapped tightly around a thick branch overhead, his fingers digging into the bark. Sweat poured down his face and neck, his red and black hair sticking to his skin. His arms screamed in protest, muscles twitching and locking from strain, but he kept going. Pull up after pull up. He'd lost count long ago. Numbers didn't matter now. The only thing that mattered was the burn. The pain, the distraction. Nothing was simple. Not for him. His body rose and fell like a machine, pure willpower driving each motion. After a while, he flipped himself up and hooked his legs over the branch, hanging upside down. He let his arms dangle limply for a moment, catching his breath, then began a new cycle. Hanging sit-ups. 1, 2, 5, 10. By the time he hit 75, his abdominal muscles felt like they were going to tear. Still, he didn't stop. It wasn't just about training. This was punishment, for what he'd done. For what they had done. The night before blurred in his mind like a fever dream, the heat of Mikoto's body against his, the way her voice shook when she whispered his name, how she had taken control of the moment, of him. And left no room for hesitation. There had been no logic, just instinct, emotion, need. And now, she was supposed to be married off to Fugaku in 3.5 months. Naruto clenched his teeth as he slammed his torso up into another sit-up. His face turned bright red, sweat and blood rushing to his head from being inverted, but it wasn't just physical strain. It was guilt, confusion, desire. He let out a breathless grunt and paused mid-rep. His body trembled. What the hell were we thinking? He closed his eyes and exhaled through his nose, but his attempt to calm himself was shattered the moment the clone's memories hit him. It had just been dispelled. Mikoto had woken up. She hadn't even realized he wasn't there. In her sleepy state, she'd kissed the clone. No, she attacked it, pinning it to the wall and kissing it like it was the most natural thing in the world. Her lips moved with hunger, with satisfaction, with affection. Her lips are so kissable, he muttered before immediately shaking his head and groaning. He was falling too deep, too fast. And yet, he couldn't stop. He liked her. And Kushina, he liked both of them. But he couldn't have either. Not with the war. Not with Mikoto's arranged marriage. Not with the blood on his hands. Naruto dropped from the branch, landing hard and staggering slightly, his breath ragged. His tank top was soaked through with sweat, clinging to every muscle. His spandex pants were caked in mud, and his hands trembled slightly from overuse. He didn't care. He ripped his tank top off so his skin could breathe more. The fabric was soaked in sweat. Then he picked up a water bottle and began to drink, lest he pass out from exhaustion and dehydration. Then he jumped up to another branch and started another workout. Kushina's paw. Her footsteps were quiet, but her heart was anything but calm. The morning air was crisp as she walked through the village, her hands tucked into her jacket sleeves. She hadn't slept well, not after everything lately. She passed Minato's house and immediately picked up her pace. She still didn't know he was away on a mission, but she wasn't looking to find out. She didn't want to see him. She didn't want to remember. Today, she had one goal in mind. Naruto. She wanted to see him. Maybe talk. Maybe drag him out on a date. Or at least something like one. Anything that could let them just breathe for a moment and just be alone together. When she finally reached the road that led to the Uzumaki compound, she came to a halt. Her eyes narrowed. Mikoto was walking out of the front gates. Her face was flushed. She was smiling. She looked pleased, glowing, even. Kushina felt a pang in her chest. Jealousy. The emotion flared without warning, sharp and hot. She didn't even know why. Well, maybe she did. She waited until Mikoto was gone and her silhouette disappeared down the hill. Then she moved. Her fists clenched slightly as she reached Naruto's door, her irritation bubbling over. She didn't knock gently. Bam, bam, bam. Naruto, Naruto, open the door. It's me, Kushina. She knew her voice had bitten. She couldn't help it. But no answer came. After another round of knocks, she sighed and stepped back. No lights, no chakra inside, no Naruto. He wasn't home. Her irritation shifted into worry. Where are you, Baka? Only 3 places came to mind. Tsukumo's house, maybe, but unlikely. Ichiraku, this early in the morning. Or the forest. Her gut told her it was the forest. She chewed her lip, glanced back toward the village, and then broke into a sprint. When she arrived at the clearing, she found him exactly where she thought he'd be. High up in a tree. His body glistened with sweat, and his muscles shook with exertion. He was doing muscle-ups, probably had been for hours. She knew that look. She knew him. Naruto, can you come down, please? Naruto froze mid-rep. He looked down and saw her red hair tied back loosely, her face unreadable but serious. He wasn't surprised. Of course, it was her. Kushina always found him, even when he didn't want to be found. He sighed and dropped from the branch, landing with a stumble. His legs almost gave out, but he caught himself. His body was drenched, his tank top was ripped off and discarded. His muscles trembled visibly, sweat clinging to his form, giving his body a natural shine. And his breathing came in sharp pulls. Kushina's eyes dragged down his form without meaning to. The way his sweat made his six-pack pop, the tension still in his arms, the way he moved like he was holding everything in by threads. She walked toward him slowly. She wasn't going to let him run from this. Not this time. You're going to talk to me, Kushina said, stepping closer, her voice low but firm. And if you don't, I swear I'll beat it out of you. She stood exactly 3 yards from Naruto, calculating the distance with practiced caution. She knew him too well. If she got too close, he'd retreat. Not out of fear, but instinct. He always ran when emotions got messy. But not this time. Naruto's fingers fidgeted with the waistband of his mud-caked spandex training pants, the fabric soaked with hours of sweat. His eyes were downcast, his body trembling from exhaustion, muscles twitching from his brutal self-imposed workout. When he finally looked up at her, his voice was barely audible. What do you want to talk about? Kushina's jaw clenched, fury flashing in her eyes. That question was like pouring oil on a fire. Her fists balled at her sides. You know damn well. She cut herself off when she saw Naruto flinch. Not because he was scared, he never was, but because he was already at his limit. Sweat ran down his face like rain, and his chest rose and fell like bellows. Yelling wouldn't help, not this time. Her voice dropped again. I want to know why Mikoto was leaving your house this early in the morning. I saw her. She was smiling, glowing, like she had the best night of her life. She took a shaky breath. And why are you out here again, working out like you're trying to punish yourself for something you can't run from? Naruto stepped back not far, just a little, but Kushina noticed. She didn't acknowledge it, not yet. She needed answers. Are you not going to answer me? He opened his mouth, then closed it again. His jaw worked, his eyes twitched. Mikoto may have spent the night with me. Kushina's brow furrowed. She hadn't heard him. Can you stop mumbling and speak up? Talk like a man. He took another step back. This time, she clenched her jaw harder. He forced the words out louder. She spent the night with me. It was like a kunai to her chest. What? What do you mean she spent the night with you? Naruto didn't answer. He tried to backpedal again, wrong move. In a flash of red hair and speed, Kushina closed the distance and slammed him into the nearest tree with a heavy thud. Her hand was at his neck, not choking him but close enough to remind him who she was. Naruto winced, coughing as the impact stole his breath. Her grip wasn't tight, but it was firm. Her face hovered only a foot from his, eyes burning. Stop thinking of running. Just talk to me. Please. Naruto swallowed. She felt the lump move in his throat. I mean exactly what I said. After we came back from our mission, and you went home, Mikoto came back with me. She stayed the night. Her fingers tightened slightly. That's not all that happened, is it? If it were, you wouldn't be out here looking like death warmed over. Did you kiss? Did you make out? Naruto looked away. The guilt was written all over his face. He didn't answer. He and Mikoto did more than just kiss and make out. The two of them had sex, and he didn't want to tell Kushina that. Her voice broke. Look at me. Why can't you just tell me? Why? She slammed him against the tree again. Not hard, but firm, desperate. Tell me. Thud. Tell me. Thud. Tell me. Naruto finally grabbed her wrist, loosening her hold as he gently pushed her away. His eyes were closed. His voice was low. I can't. If I told you, it would hurt you. And I can't lie to you. Kushina stood frozen for a second, staring at him. Then something snapped. Her fists tightened again. I told you, if you tried to run, I'd beat the answers out of you. She lunged. The jab came fast. Naruto, despite his exhaustion, dipped his head left off the center line and slid his left foot in the same direction. His right foot rolled back as he arced away, his left staying in place for a second to pivot before he moved it back, creating distance, but her fist clipped him behind the ear. He winced, holding the spot. What the hell, Kushi-chan? She gave a bitter chuckle, full of pain. You and that fancy footwork and slick head movement. Not many people get to see it. Don't do this, he pleaded, stepping back. Please. She came at him again. Fists, kicks, elbows. Naruto dodged most, but he was running on fumes. 4 punches landed. However, they weren't clean. Chin, cheek, jaw, and temple were the places he got clipped. Then came the kick to the ribs that nearly folded him. He ducked another high kick and shoved her back. She's going to cripple me, he thought. She's stronger than I thought. And she's fast, quote. He activated his Sharingan. The world slowed slightly, her movements became clearer. He dodged her next punch and countered, not hitting her, but just pushing her away by her chin and making her stumble back. Stop this, please. But Kushina only got faster. He could see the strikes now. But his tired body couldn't keep up. He blocked most, but her fists slammed into his ribs, chest, and face. Desperate, Naruto dipped low and surged forward, scooping her legs and picking her up before taking her to the ground in a clean double leg takedown. They hit the dirt hard. He pinned her wrists. Her body froze. Something broke in her eyes. Panic. Kushina had a flashback of when Minato raped her. When he pinned her to her bed by her wrist. How she couldn't break free from his grip as he forced himself into her, taking her purity by force. Minato. Kushina. She screamed and slammed her head forward into Naruto's nose with brutal force. Crack. Naruto yelped and rolled off, cradling his face. Blood poured between his fingers. Kushina scrambled up, sitting on her ass while she used her hands for support as she leaned back, horror painted across her face. And Naruto, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. It was just. I had to. She trailed off, stammering. She couldn't say it. She wouldn't. Naruto sat up, eyes closed, trying to breathe through the pain. Kushina went to him, angry at herself. In her jealousy and panic, she hurt the one she loved the most in this world. He was about to blow the blood out when she stopped him. Don't blow it out, let me. She gently grabbed his nose. Naruto flinched. I'm so sorry. Her other hand grabbed the back of his head to prevent him from pulling away from her. Snap. Naruto hissed through his teeth. I'm sorry, she whispered. I didn't want to hurt you. It's fine. He muttered, though his pride screamed otherwise. He couldn't believe he had lost. Tired or not, he was stronger than her. It made his blood boil. But he couldn't say anything. A real man took beatings with dignity. She reached down and grabbed his hand, pulling him up. What are you doing? He asked. She turned, crouched, and pulled him onto her back in a piggyback carry. I'm taking you to my place so I can finish fixing your nose. He groaned and buried his face in the back of her shirt. This is so embarrassing. At her house, she sat him on her bed and disappeared into the bathroom. When she returned, she had scissors and a tampon. Naruto looked at the strange white cloth in her hand. What is that? It's a tampon, she replied, cutting it in half. Naruto blinked. He didn't know what that was. Without explanation, she stuffed the halves into each nostril. Naruto flinched. I'm sorry, I didn't mean for any of this to happen. Kushina went back into the bathroom. She returned with tissues and alcohol, gently cleaning the blood around his face, holding his head steady. I'm such a jealous idiot, she muttered. Naruto didn't respond. He just stared at her, his heart heavier than ever. When Kushina finally finished wiping the blood from his face, she put all the medical supplies away and sat next to him on her bed. Feeling awkward, Naruto stood up. Thanks for helping, but I'm gonna go. Naruto went to walk towards the front door, but Kushina stood and stopped him as she grabbed his wrist. Wait, no. Can you stay with me, please? Naruto got a slight look of panic before it faded. He went to continue walking. I don't think that's a good idea. Kushina stopped him again, this time stepping in front of him as she put a hand on his chest. No, please. Please, I really want you to stay with me. Kushina then looked down and quickly pulled her hand away, blushing. Naruto's body was very well defined. It was so nice that it could be on the cover of a magazine. Naruto wasn't in the mood to talk after what happened. He just wanted to relax. Kushina, I'm not in the mood to talk anymore. I just want to relax. My face hurts, I'm exhausted, I'm embarrassed, and my thoughts are in shambles. Please, if you want to know what Mikoto and I did that badly, can I just tell you tomorrow? Kushina covered his mouth. I don't care about that. Tears slowly formed in Kushina's violet eyes. All I care about is you, damn it. Yet you don't seem to notice. And then I accidentally hurt you. I'm sorry, when it comes to you, I get very emotional, and jealous, and crazy. I just really love you. Okay. There, I said it. I finally said it. I don't like you, I'm not fond of you, I love you." When Kushina was done speaking, she let out a breath, like she finally got something important off her chest. Naruto, however, just stood there, in stunned silence. He had no idea what to say or do. Kushina raised an eyebrow. "You freezing up like this is kinda scaring me." Naruto looked away. He now had a frown on his face. Kushina just effectively made his thoughts even more of a mess. Seeing this, Kushina lowered her head. "I would understand if you didn't like me. After all, I would just be getting in the way of you and Mikoto." Naruto shook his head, grabbing Kushina's attention. "That's not it at all." Reaching forward, Naruto opened the kunai pouch on Kushina's thigh and pulled out a kunai and started to fidget with it due to his nervousness. "I like you as well. It's just that I also like Mikoto, and I just don't know what to do." Kushina took a step forward and pulled Naruto closer by the waistband of his pants. "Do you mean that? You're not just saying that so I don't cry, are you?" Naruto shook his head and said no. He then felt a soft but calloused hand on his cheek as he looked up. Can I kiss you?" Shakily, Naruto nodded, and Kushina slowly leaned in. When both of their lips met, Kushina's pink, thick, and full feminine lips molded over his slightly thin and smaller lips. However, when their lips touched each other's, both of them enjoyed it, as neither of them was able to pull away from each other. Kushina finally pulled away, as both of them caught their breath. Naruto looked like he was in a daze as his heart pounded in his chest. "Your lips are so nice." Kushina blinked and then blushed with a smile. That was the first time she'd gotten a compliment like that. Even though it was something weird to say, because it was Naruto who said it with his cute, bashful, and awkward personality, the compliment made her heart flutter, and she kissed him again. She then started to push Naruto back into her bedroom and towards her bed. When Naruto was close enough, she pushed him back onto it. As he sat back up, Kushina was in the process of straddling him, as both of them stuck out their tongues and leaned in, kissing one another. Naruto grabbed her by the hips and pulled her closer, causing their bodies to be flush against one another. Naruto then pulled away and leaned his forehead down onto Kushina's chest as he shut his eyes. "We shouldn't do this." Naruto was mad at himself for stopping, but it was just in his nature. He didn't want to do anything with her while she didn't know what he did with Mikoto, simply because he didn't know if Kushina would regret it later. Why did you stop?" Naruto shook his head on her chest, as she held his head in her bosom. "Because I can't do this with you, while you're clueless about me and Mikoto." Kushina rubbed the back of his head and made him look up at her. "I don't care that you and Miko kissed or made out, it's fine." Kushina felt Naruto grip the front of her shirt as he lowered his head. That's not all that happened." Kushina froze. "What do you mean?" Naruto continued to look down, but Kushina forced him to look at her. Naruto let out a sigh. Mikoto and we had sex." Kushina's breath caught in her throat. She didn't expect to hear that. "No." Naruto blinked and looked back at Kushina. "What was that?" Kushina's hand shot forward and grabbed Naruto's by the throat and pushed him back against her mattress as she looked down at him. "I said no. She may have gotten you last night. But for the rest of today and all of tomorrow, you're mine." Kushina had a desperate look in her eyes. She then grabbed the hem of her shirt and pulled it off, revealing a pink standard bra, holding back perky C-cup breasts. She then leaned down and kissed Naruto as her hands reached for the hem of his pants, before she started to remove them. "But guys, I am ending it here. You already know that Naruto and Kushina made love here. And I am not gonna lie, she deserved it. She feels like she has to compete with her best friend for Naruto. She already got raped by Minato back in part 2. She nearly had a mental breakdown after that happened, and then Naruto started to avoid her because he thought she was still with Minato. I deserve a cookie. But I am out, guys. Stay blessed, you all."